Hey there, it's Pete with Top Deck Cards and Games, and today we're going to be going over some Plasma Strafe goodness. Now this deck here is a personal concoction of mine, and it revolves around the ever so popular Plasma engine. Now this is a little bit different take. Typical Plasma engines usually revolve around the popular TDK archetype, or with just straight up Lugia or Thunderous Lugia. There's so many different variants, and what this deck does is it's not so much about outright damage as it is more so about control and stalling. So the premise of this deck revolves around Palkia here. Palkia's first attack, requiring 3 colors energy, doing 50 damage, Strafe. You may switch this Pokemon with one of your benched Pokemon. So, while it's not really huge numbers, it's still a fairly decent amount, and it all being colorless really adds to its usability. For this, we are going to be using Deoxys EX to increase its damage. And while it's, strafing around and doing its thing, in the process we're going to be building up a Lugia to get the massive damage going. Now, whenever Palkia does strafe out, the way this deck is set up is it's going to set up various walls, as you're going to see here. For example, we are using Blast Suicune. With the Safeguard ability, prevent all effects of attacks including damage done to this Pokemon by Pokemon EX. Now, we have him, and we have Latias EX with its ability Bright Down. Prevent all effects of attacks including damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon with abilities. The real cool thing about these two is they're very situational dependent. There's a lot of things currently going on right now that have abilities, and Latias is a good way to stop them from doing anything. Suicune has the benefit of being a non-EX, so you can equip a Silver Mirror to him, allowing you to prevent damage from EXs and Plasmas. So overall, it's pretty decent. My biggest problem is fighting anything that is a non-EX that doesn't have an ability, which there's not too many of those in the format currently, so that's good. We run one off of a Keldeo for its ability Rush In. Once during your turn before you attack, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may switch this Pokemon with your active. So the ideal setup is to have one Palkia here, and we're going to beef up its damage as much as possible. We got 2 Deoxys on the bench. We have a muscle band attached to it for 20 more damage. It's going to hit 90. And we're going to strafe for 90, bring them back. We're going to pull out a wall. The opponent won't be able to attack one of the 2 Pokemon. And then during the turn, we're going to use a Keldeo with a Float Stone attached to rush in, retreat, bring Palkia back out, strafe again, and just rinse and repeat. While we're doing this, we're going to be building up this wonderful little Lugia right here, with its attack Plasma Gale doing 120 and discarding of Plasma Energy in order to even use the attack. Now, with the 2 Deoxys, we can bump that up to 140. With the Muscle Band, we can bump that up to 160. It's not really enough to be one-shotting exactly, but with Palkia softening everything up, it will put everything in the range for Lugia to just straight up start knocking things out and taking additional prizes. Now, my Pokemon count here is the way that I personally like to run it. A side note, all counts of decks can be adjusted to however you like, but this is ideally what I like to set up. Running 3 Palkias, 2 Deoxys, 2 Lugias, 1 offs of Keldeo Latias, a Plasma Kyurem in case you need a non-EX attacker, and 2 Suicunes. Energy-wise, the deck does use some basic energy. My energy count overall is 12, and we are utilizing 3 basic waters. We are using 1 Prism Energy, 4 plasmas, as is tradition, and 4 double colorless energies. Double colorless are easily used for both Palkia and Lugia to help just power them up as quickly as possible. Plasma energies for usage for Lugia, and the Prism energy in case I need to hit with Deoxys EX. Because contrary to popular belief, Deoxys EX attacking ability is quite solid and can save you from some pinches. My A-Spec choice is Scramble Switch. You can easily replace that with a dowsing machine or computer search as you see fit, but I personally like to Scramble Switch just in case that I don't have the option to use the Keldeo Floatstone engine, and to help further stack energy on Lugia if need be, if I need to start just winning matches. So that is the energy setup for that. Now we will go deep into our trainer lines, which are pretty heavy. Now, there is definitely a plethora of supporters that I'm using for this deck. It's not too heavy with draw, and a little bit more heavy with utility. This is just how I personally build it. If you ever decide to play this deck, you can always mess around with your personal counts and see what you like better. With this setup, sometimes you will be lacking a little bit with draw power, but you will have a little bit more control with what you need to do. In this case, I have set up 3 Junipers, 3 Skylas, 2 Colress, 2 Lysander, 1 N, and 1 Shadow Triad for my supporter line. And the Shadow Triad, I only run 1 of, because 1 is honestly enough in this deck. It's pretty clutch for trying to get back a plasma energy that was either accidentally discarded via Juniper or discarded from Lugia using his attacks. So it's a good solid way of getting one of those plasmas back. I feel that Colress in this deck is a lot more solid as far as draw count compared to N, just because of the fact that by turn 2 or 3 you should have a full bench. And there's a lot of things in this deck that will help accelerate that. You kind of thrive on having that full bench of having 1 or 2 Palkia, having both Deoxys out, a Lugia, a Suicune, or a Latias EX, depending what your needs are. And it's very justifiable, or adjustable rather. I do run 2 Counter Frozen City for Stadium Wars. Frozen City, while it can affect me because I do run some non-plasmas, isn't really too much of a huge deal. I'm not too concerned with some of my Suicunes taking a little bit of damage from energy attachments. Floatstones, once again, for the Keldeo Floatstone engine. It's also useful for putting onto a Pokemon just to get it out of the active if I need be, if I don't have access to my Keldeo. Muscle Bands for just dealing that extra damage, either with Lugia or Palkia, depending on the situation. And Silver Mirrors for my Suicunes. So that's my ideal run for those. And once again, you can adjust these to your liking. If you rather have a little bit more draw support than utility, you can remove the Lysanders so you don't have the catcher effect and put in more Ns or Shaunas or anything of that kin. Item-wise, we are running the traditional Plasma Energen, so a 4 count of Chorus Machine. For this mount, we are running 3 Plasma Balls, and we are running 3 Ultra Balls. Just for the fact that not everything in this deck is Plasma, so running a 4 count may be a little bit of a hindrance, and you might need more access to Ultra Ball. For tool adjustability, I am running Tool Scrappers instead of Megaphones. While Megaphones are quite handy in specific situations, Sometimes a Pokemon may have a floatstone on it when you want to put a muscle band, or it has a silver mirror on it when you want to put a floatstone on it. So the tool scrappers allow you to be able to adjust whatever tools are on you and not necessarily having to remove the tools on your opponent's side. I do run a one-off of Super Rods in case I lose some basic energies I need to get back, or I've had an early knockout with a Palkia and I need it back as soon as possible. Same with Deoxys. So I have more access to those, and a one-off Professor Letter just to at least get that initial energy if I have a bad start. And they're easily scalable, and you can just go grab your 2 basic waters and call it good. This is personally how I like to run my counts. Item-wise, I am definitely a little low. There are a lot of things going on with this deck which makes space a little bit of a hindrance as far as deck building is concerned. So, some things to check out, absolutely. I've had a lot of fun with this deck personally, and I definitely highly recommend giving it a shot. Like I said, everything's pretty adjustable. I mean, the main core of this is essentially the Suicunes, the Deoxys, Palkia. If you don't want to go a route with Lugia and want to try something else, it's perfectly fine too. You could even replace those with Genesect if you'd like. Genesect having the red signal ability and using it in plasmas is actually also a solid idea. That would save up room instead of using Lysandre's for more draw support. And you can always tech in a different attacker, a non-EX attacker. I just feel that Kyurem, for a plasma aspect, is one of the most solid non-EX attackers in the format, and can be highly used in this situation, especially if you have your Keldeo Floatstone engine running. I mean, 120 for 3 energy, put a muscle band on it, 140, get 2 Deoxys, 160. I mean, it's just super solid. So that is the deck that I personally like to run. I invested a lot of time in. I did invest a little bit of money into this, trying to make it all pretty and everything. So that's just how I personally feel. If you like it, awesome. I highly suggest give it a shot, see how you do like it. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down in the comment section below. And thank you guys for watching. You can subscribe to our YouTube for more videos like this, and you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter for more information on future events. And thank you for watching. We'll see you later.